March 13th, 2012. Lufkin, Texas highway, 3 miles per hour. That's all it took. For 11 years, Israel Keyes moved through America like a ghost. He flew to one state, drove 1,000 miles to another, killed strangers, and vanished. No pattern, no connection, no mistakes. He buried weapons years before he used them, chose victims by chance. By 2012, he'd killed at least 11 people and was getting bolder. He should have disappeared forever. But on a humid Tuesday morning in Texas, a state trooper noticed a white Ford Focus going 3 miles over the speed limit. 3 miles per hour changed everything. February 1st, 2012, Anchorage, Alaska. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Common Ground's coffee stand glowed against the Alaska darkness. 18-year-old Samantha Koenig was closing up. She'd been saving for vacation, just another hour until home. The man approached wearing a dark hoodie, ordered an Americano. As she turned to make it, he said, "Turn around, I have a gun." Israel Keyes had broken his most important rule. For 11 years, he never hunted where he lived. He flew to other states, killed strangers, then came home to Alaska to his daughter and girlfriend who thought he was just a traveling contractor. But tonight was different. He'd been watching this coffee stand for weeks. He zip-tied her hands, forced her out. She tried to run, broke free for a second. He was faster. Tackled her in the snow, put his arm around her throat, whispered that the gun had quiet bullets. His white pickup was parked across Tudor Road, license plates removed, toolboxes taken out, space made. He drove her around Anchorage, told her this was kidnapping for ransom. She believed him, explained her family didn't have money. "They'll find it," he said. He drove back for her phone, sent texts to her boyfriend and boss, said she needed a break, was leaving town. Then he drove to his house. His girlfriend and daughter were inside, watching TV. He put Samantha in the shed out back. Samantha Koenig died that night. But Keyes kept her body for 2 weeks, went on a cruise to Mexico with his family, played with his daughter by the pool. When he returned, he did something that still makes investigators sick. He put makeup on her frozen face, sewed her eyes open with fishing line, posed her with a February 13th newspaper, took a photo, then he sent a ransom note. $30,000. For 6 weeks, Samantha's parents thought she was alive. They raised the money, prayed. Israel Keyes withdrew the money from ATMs across the country: Alaska, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Every withdrawal was a digital scream, every transaction a breadcrumb. He didn't know it yet, it said to him, but he was drawing a map straight to himself. The hunt had begun. In 2004, Israel Keyes buried a 5-gallon bucket in Vermont. Inside, a .22 rifle, ammunition, zip ties, Drano, and cash. He memorized the location. 2 years later, he came back for it. This was how Keyes hunted. Patient, methodical, invisible. Between 2001 and 2011, he crisscrossed America like he was playing twisted chess. He'd fly to Chicago, rent a car, drive 1,000 miles to Vermont, or Seattle to rural Washington, always cash, always random. Never the same place twice. June 8th, 2011, Essex, Vermont. Bill and Lorraine Currier were watching TV. Quiet couple, no children, no enemies. Keyes had been driving around Essex for hours, looking for the right house. The Currier's house was perfect. Simple layout, attached garage, no dog, no security. He cut the phone lines, broke through the garage, found them in the bedroom. They were confused, terrified. He had a gun from the bucket he'd buried years earlier. He forced them into their car, drove to an abandoned farmhouse he'd found that afternoon. In the basement, he tied Bill to a stool, took Lorraine upstairs. Bill started shouting, "Where's my wife?" When Keyes went to check, Bill had partly worked free. This wasn't the plan. Keyes shot him. The shouting stopped. By morning, both couriers were dead. He put the bodies in garbage bags, covered them with debris in the basement. The couriers vanished without a trace. No witnesses, no evidence, no connection to an Alaska contractor. This was his pattern for a decade. He claimed 4 murders in Washington state, 1 in New York, maybe more. He robbed banks to fund these trips, at least 2 confirmed. 1 in Tupper Lake, another in Texas. By 2007, Keyes had moved to Anchorage, started a construction business, perfect cover for travel. His girlfriend never suspected. His daughter thought Daddy built houses. He'd killed at least 11 people by 2012. The FBI found kill kits buried in Alaska, New York, possibly Wyoming and Texas. Weapons waiting underground. 10 years. No mistakes, no patterns, no way to catch him. He was escalating, getting hungrier, the gaps between kills shrinking. Then came February 2012. February 24th, Anchorage. The ATM camera captured a hooded figure withdrawing $500 from Samantha Koenig's account. She'd been missing 23 days. Her father collapsed in the FBI office. "She's alive. My baby's alive." They didn't know she was already dead. FBI Special Agent Jolene Godin stared at the footage. Tall, male. This wasn't a kidnapping anymore. March 6th, Wilcox, Arizona. Another withdrawal. 1,500 miles from Alaska. An agent spotted a white Ford Focus in the background. The pattern emerged. March 7th, New Mexico. March 8th, Texas. Every withdrawal calculated. $490, just under the security limit. He didn't know the FBI had connected the dots. Samantha's murder, bank robberies, missing couples across states. The task force exploded from 3 agents to 30. Texas Rangers drove through the night. The briefing white Ford Focus, armed and extremely dangerous. March 10th, Humble, Texas, less than 500 miles from Mexico. March 12th, 2 a.m. An agent noticed a rental sticker in the footage. 3 frames. They traced it. Blue Ford Focus, CN8M857. Name on the agreement, Israel Keyes. They had a name, they had a plate. Every cruiser in East Texas got the alert. Corporal Brian Henry memorized it at a truck stop. White Ford Focus, CN8M857. In 4 hours, he'd see that exact combination going 3 miles over the speed limit. 10:43 a.m., Highway 59. The Texas sun was already brutal. Corporal Brian Henry had been patrolling since dawn. The white Ford Focus passed him going northbound. His radar beeped. 68 miles per hour. The limit was 65. 3 miles over. Henry almost let it go. Everyone drives 3 over, but something made him look again. White Ford rental car. The morning briefing echoed white Ford Focus, Alaska connection. He flipped on his lights. The Focus pulled over immediately. No hesitation. The driver was calm. Clean-shaven, nice shirt. Hands visible on the wheel. Everything screamed normal. "License and registration, please." The man reached slowly, handed over the documents. Israel Keyes. Address Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska. Henry kept his voice steady. "Where are you heading today, sir?" "Just visiting family, coming back from a wedding." Henry walked back to his cruiser, found the radio. "This is Unit 237. I need backup at mile marker 102. Possible Bolo suspect." The radio exploded. 4 minutes later, 2 cruisers pulled up, then another, then Texas Rangers. Keyes watched in his mirror. You could see it in his posture, the way his shoulders dropped. 11 years of perfect crimes, Undone by 3 miles per hour, they surrounded the focus. Weapons drawn but not pointed. "Sir, step out of the vehicle." Keyes complied. No resistance. He looked tired, almost relieved. They searched the car. In the center console, Samantha Koenig's ATM card, her cell phone in the back, cash stained bright pink from a bank robbery die pack. Texas Ranger Stephen Rayburn read him his rights. Keyes just nodded. Brian Henry had no idea what he'd just done. He thought he'd caught a kidnapper. He didn't know he'd stopped a man who'd murdered across America for over a decade, who had kill kits buried in 5 states, 3 miles per hour. That's all that stood between Israel Keyes and Mexico, between capture and freedom, between justice and more deaths. March 14th, 2012. FBI interview room. Israel Keyes sat across from Special Agent Jolene Godin. "There is no one who knows me," he said. "Not really, I'm 2 different people." For 8 months, Keyes played a game with the FBI. 40 hours of interviews. He'd give them pieces, never the whole picture. He admitted to Samantha Koenig immediately, the ransom photo with her eyes sewn open. He laughed, describing it. The couriers. He told them about Vermont, but wouldn't reveal where the bodies were. The farmhouse had been demolished. They'd never be found. "How many others?" Godin asked. 11, maybe. Does it matter?" Washington State, 4 dead. New York, a woman buried near Tupper Lake. No names, no dates, just shadows. His demands, quick death penalty. No media circus. Keep his daughter from knowing. December 1st, night. Keyes had hidden a razor blade in a pencil, his final tool. He cut his wrist and strangled himself with a bedsheet. The guard found him at 5:57 a.m. under his body, a 4-page note. No victim names, no locations. But the most chilling thing was under his bed, drawn in blood on the wall, 11 skulls in rows. Above them, "We are one," 11 skulls. At least. The FBI is still searching. Kill kits remain buried, families still hoping. Israel Keyes took his secrets with him. 3 miles per hour caught him, but it couldn't make him talk. Right now, somewhere in America, there's a 5-gallon bucket buried in the ground. Inside, a gun, zip ties, and cash. Waiting. Israel Keyes buried kill kits in at least 5 states. The FBI has found only 2. Think about that. Weapons hidden near campgrounds, where families vacation, parks where children play, hiking trails you might have walked. 11 skulls drawn in blood. But investigators count more missing people along his routes. Keyes once told the FBI, "I didn't just plan crimes, I planned decades of crimes." How many victims never got linked to him? How many families are still waiting? 3 miles per hour caught Israel Keyes. But his secrets died with him in that cell. The monster is gone, but his weapons are still out there, buried, waiting.